What's going on, everybody? Aiden from Birds vs. Boys here for a new special episode of Birds vs. Boys. Usually it's KMess who's leading the introductions, but given we all know why we're here, it made sense for me to intro and then kick it over to Kevin for what should be an all-time rant and an all-time reaction. Micah Parsons is no longer a Dallas Cowboy after 4 short years, a generational edge rusher traded in conference to the Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome in, everybody. KMess, this is your moment. Over to you.
So Kenny Clark's a really good defensive tackle. Where's number 96? So he's already at the facility. He got the
Good for
PJ
him.
treatment from Jerry Jones. Jerry sent his private jet up to Green Bay, picked him up, flew him down. He's already walking around the practice facility with DeMarvion Overshawn, shaking hands, saying hello, talking about how he gets all the defensive linemen together for night film study sessions. Aiden, we got a leader. We got a guy who's going to stop the run. We have somebody who's really going to change the game for the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys got better with Kenny Clark. All right, everybody. Hope everybody enjoys their Labor Day weekend.
Fun show, 2 minutes, in and out.
Okay. Would you like to tell the people first how I found out about this?
I FaceTimed you. I felt like Paul Revere letting everyone know the British is coming. Someone texted me, and I thought that they were talking about our show because on our show we said about how funny it would be of Micah getting a second opinion for his back in Green Bay and how, haha, that's so funny, but it's not real. So I thought they were talking about the podcast, and I checked Twitter. Sure enough, he did get a second opinion and a third opinion and a fourth opinion and 188 million opinions from the Green Bay Packers. So I FaceTimed you, and you were literally on a horse farm.
Literally all day. I had to drive from where I live down to like Atlantic City, which is 2 hours for work. And then I had 2 hours drive back. That's 4 hours of drive time. Besides maybe 17 minutes of that on the phone with coworkers, I was listening to Cowboys radio, locked in all day. Even driving from my house once I got home to my in-laws' house with the wife, I had it on, which is a 15-minute drive. I got out of the car. I walked 750 feet to where my children were on swings, which are 12 feet away from horses. Having a great sunshine, blue sky. Picked up my daughter, looking at the horse. My phone starts buzzing. It's you, FaceTime. And I was like, oh, this is nice. I'm going to show Aiden the baby and the horses because you've been there. The horse was not so good to you betting.
Not at all.
I thought it was just, we're going to have a nice time. And you were just laughing. And I immediately knew what that meant. I said, he got traded, didn't he? Mm-hmm. So that's how I found out. It was great.
It kind of felt like the end scene of a movie, like when like an assassin or a villain puts their past life behind them and they're ready to start their next life, and they're like trying to be a family man. It's kind of like in The Town when he calls her and he realizes SWAT's there, and you realize that she that she saves him. So the last scene is her digging up the money in the garden. That was you. That was you, like finding the money in the garden and being like, okay, I'm moving on with my life. Like you're on a horse farm with your kids and you're like, wow, that was the final straw with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, it's like, it was kind of, you ever see the movie Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks?
I have not.
Where at the end, he finally gets to like the in-laws' house. He's not being hunted anymore. He gets there, he's standing in the room and he's looking over the ocean, and his son is running with the dog. Everything's great. And then boom, he's shot with a shotgun. And the hunter that was actually hunting him the whole movie was just in that room waiting for him and then dead.
No.
That was you. And that was me.
I don't know if I like that end of the movie.
It's a great movie. It's phenomenal. You got to watch it. It's all about prohibition and awesome. All right, let's really get into this. So there's so many different angles of this, right? There's things that I don't mind. There's things I'm angry about. There's things I'm sad about, right? I think we could break this up into the three different categories. The thing, I guess we'll start, the sad part is just like thinking about someone who you enjoy watching play on Sundays no longer on your team, right? Somebody
Yeah.
who, even on this show, we have deep connections and roots to. One, because he's from where you're from. You watched him play in high school. You would have lost your mind if he would have been an Eagle. He
Mhm.
got drafted by your arch nemesis. I enjoyed 4 years of him during the regular season, not so much in the playoffs. Gotta get a jab in every once in a while. And you know, it also was, I don't know if you remember this, Aiden. I was trying to find the clip on Twitter. I mean, I predicted him being drafted by the Cowboys. If you remember, we said
You did.
before the draft, and we said who's going to go. And also, that was also the draft where the Eagles and Cowboys came together to screw the Giants, and we did it together, and it was fun. So that's the sad part. The anger comes from confusion for me because
Sounds like me at work.
true. It it just seems like sometimes I watch my toddler do things, and she's very smart. And sometimes she does things that I'm like, how did you even know? Like today, she's 3. She goes, not a cloud in the sky, Dad. I'm like, you're 3. What? Why did you? How did you even know that that's a saying? But there's other times where she does things, and I'm like, I'm at a loss of why you're doing this the way you're doing it. And that's kind of my thinking around Jerry Jones and the way that they've been building this team lately.
Okay.
He's
Can I call a quick timeout? So,
please.
in this analogy, Jerry Jones and your 3-year-old toddler.
Yes.
Okay,
And
continue.
and a combination of maybe Joe Biden at the end of election season too. We can combine
I
them all
thought that watching that press conference when he got his name wrong
and
and didn't hear the reporter, and he was like, Michael? And then his son had to turn him and be like, Micah. And he was like, oh, Micah. And then stumbled on his words for 10 seconds to the reporter. I was like, I've seen this movie before.
he was calling him Michael for weeks, and I don't think it was. I think he was also confused because the documentary came out and there's so much talk about Michael Irvin, and then he also went on Michael Irvin's podcast, and they've also been talking about Micah for months. So scary old man. He's 82 years old. There's a lot of Johnny Walker Blue in that body, and I'm sure some other substances along the way that you know um, have confused him. But yes, so back to the toddler and the way the confusion of sometimes I watch her do things, and the comparison with Jerry Jones is I don't fully understand all of the thinking. Right? It's like you try and build through the draft. You refuse to tank or admit that you're
Tanking.
rebuilding and saying that you're in win now mode and you pay 60 million for your quarterback, millions more than anybody else is paying a quarterback yearly. You go out, you don't sign DeMarcus Lawrence, who's your leader of the defense, to make Micah this leader of the defense. You go get George Pickens on basically a rental. You're putting things and chips in play to kind of make a move this year. And then you trade your generational best player pass rusher 7 days before opening. Like, trade him. They said they had conversations about this in January. I think now, Aiden, if you remember, there was leaks about the Cowboys talking about moving up within the first 3 picks. And is Micah Parsons on the? I don't think all that was bullshit now, but
Mm-mm.
make the move then. Not now. Like, I guarantee you they would have gotten 3 first-round picks if they made the move then. They would have gotten a 25 that would have helped them this year. Maybe you get an Abdul Carter. Maybe you get a Hunter. You do it now. And listen, I think Kenny Clark's a solid player, right? 3-time Pro Bowler. He's going to help the team. But it's Kenny Clark. It's not Micah Parsons. It's not Abdul Carter. It's not Hunter. Like, nothing lines up. You're saying you're all in and you're renting George Pickens but then you don't tell me that it's not personal and your feelings aren't hurt. Your feelings are hurt. You made a rash decision. It's funny too how like this deal's been done for days. There's now reports it was agreed upon 3 days ago. Because how else would like everything be aligned where they had compensation ready? Mulugeta obviously had to negotiate with the Packers to get the deal done, the 47. Micah had to agree to that deal because otherwise the Packers aren't trading for him if he doesn't agree to a long-term deal. Micah's Instagram post had to be written and ready. The David Mulugeta agency post and putting him in Packers yellow and that had to be made by AI or a graphic designer. Probably some kid who makes $12 an hour. They found on Instagram, just like, hey, can you change the colors real quick on this guy? And then put numbers on there. So I don't know. It's confusing. Some of it makes sense. Like we're draft guys, right? Having 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years makes me happy. But also, you know what's going to happen now. Packers are going to win the Super Bowl, and the pick's going to be 32.
Yeah. That actually was one of my first thoughts. I was like, you know what? Man, that's a good Packers team now. And he looks good in the green and yellow. And I'll say this, getting us off track already. Here's a talking point I haven't heard a lot about this trade. The quarterback in the league with the most pressure on them now is Jordan Love.
Absolutely.
Because Jordan Love is the quarterback that the internet thinks Jalen Hurts is. But Jalen Hurts beat Jordan Love twice last year. And don't say this super team stuff because they went to Brazil, played on a slip and slide, and Jalen Hurts carried them to victory. He had a phenomenal second half in that game.
And I would also say Matt LaFleur has the most pressure of any head coach in the NFL right now.
Correct.
And Gutekunst has the most pressure of a GM because if you add in also, not everybody knows this, there is a brand new president and general manager of the Packers who just started this January, I believe. And he has already come out and said, like, I'm not signing anybody to long-term deals and now I think that's also part of why they made this move. They're like, oh shit, stuff needs to happen now. And I would not be surprised if they stay healthy to see this team either playing in Philadelphia or against Philadelphia in Green Bay on Championship Sunday.
Oof, yeah, I genuinely believe that they are better than the Lions now. I think they are.
I do as well.
We'll be doing our perfect timing to do our predictions. We'll be doing our annual division predictions. But I genuinely believe like the Packers are better than the Vikings, and they're better than the they're better than the Lions, and they are definitely better than the Bears. But that's the Green Bay side of things.
I think also I would have loved Rashawn Gary back in this. Because then that's like Gary's also not Micah, but he's young. He's a good pass rusher. And now the Packers are just like, nope, we're going to put those two together.
It's crazy because the justification of this trade is, well, they need help in the run game. So we got this guy who's 30, by the way, lowest PFF grade he's had in his career last year. So,
but yeah,
okay, But if you, it's like that scene in Vacation, the original Vacation, when they're at the dam and all the holes are getting unplugged. So he tries to plug one and the water comes out another. If you trade a generational edge rusher in his prime, it doesn't matter what you're getting back player wise to help your run defense, because now you need help in your rush the passer defense, right? Like it's just that justification is so odd to me. That, it was a weakness. It's like, so you created a weakness to salvage your other weakness? What?
Now, I will say there are reports coming out from reliable sources. Nick Eatman from DallasCowboys.com, who has tapped in as much as anybody. I think he's been on the beat 17 years or so. If he's somebody in Cowboys land that you trust, he's one of like the top three. And he is saying that the deal coming out of Green Bay has the 5th-year option, 21 or 24. There's that grievance going on. Is he a linebacker? Is he a defensive end? And it's hilarious that linebacker is $3 million more than a defensive end on the 5th-year option. But they are saying that money is baked into this deal, including making it the $47 million. And if you do that with what Jerry offered, the Cowboys were offering around $46 million a year. And if that is the case, Micah just didn't want to be there anymore. I think it was, I think it, and there is also legitimate reporting now coming out also that back in February, March timeframe, Micah's team went to the Cowboys and said, if you were going to drag this out, if you're not going to get done what needs to get done, trade him now.
But
which
that's
they should have done, and they would have gotten so much more value.
Exactly. That's why we have processes in this world, in this NFL world. Like, we know how this goes. It's every player that's in that draft class. You either pick up the 5th-year option or you get the extension done ahead of time. Look at the teams that are doing it wrong. The Bengals just had to franchise tag T. Higgins twice. Now all of their cap space is tied up into 4 players, and they aren't able to build around them. They aren't able to build a defense. The Cowboys, they did not get a deal done ahead of time. They said, oh, we'll trade him and we'll be done with this, or give him the extension. And they waited until the last possible moment when his value was the lowest to trade the biggest trade chip that is quite literally like available at this current time. He might not be the most valuable trade ship ever, but right now, that is the best trade ship that you could have on the market. A prime edge rusher who you can now sign to a contract from years of his life, 25 to 30. Like, you have to give up a haul of all hauls for that, and they got a 30-year-old defensive tackle and 2 first-round picks, which will be in the 20s because of how they handled this.
And you speak of cap space, which now the Cowboys, I think, have top 3 money now in cap space. And we all know what the Cowboys do with cap space.
Spend it. Yeah.
Nothing.
That was the other thing when I did my reaction yesterday. My main takeaway is you had that viral post talking about the 2023 draft class and how it was just a disaster. Like, they just didn't get anything out of it. They have nobody behind Micah that's going to need a mega deal. CeeDee Lamb's taken care of. You're paid Dak for the time being.
Tyler Smith.
And
George Pickens.
Which George Pickens I wouldn't even qualify as a mega deal, right? Like, there was money also to spend. You could,
and DeRon Bland also. I wouldn't say mega deal, but
yeah. Again, those are 2 manageable deals. Him and Pickens, I feel like manageable money.
Tyler Smith.
Probably
George
not.
Pickens. Let's think here. Both represented by David Mulugeta.
So I'm going to have to wake up next August and turn on the TV while I'm eating my breakfast and say, oh, what are we going to watch? And we're live at Cowboys camp where George Pickens hasn't showed up yet because the Cowboys have been unable to get a deal done with him. And
after they franchise tagged him.
After they franchise tagged him.
And now his back is a little tight. He's going for a second opinion.
He got a tight. His elbow hurts. He can't practice today.
It's a hamster wheel. Like I said, I keep saying that they are the WWE, which is true, but I think I have an even better comparison now. I tweeted it yesterday. I made a thing.
Me too.
Next, after Summer House, here's Cowboys House on Bravo. Like, they are a Bravo, the billionaires of Dallas. They come, the hillbillies, the bumbling hillbillies of Dallas who hit the lottery. He said in The Gambler, I think he said what was it? He bought an oil, like one of his first, he bought an oil field and they dug it down. He spent $175,000 for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They hit oil. He made over $400 million just on that one hole.
That's like the domino meme. He hits.
Do you
He
know what he
strikes
paid for the Dallas
oil
Cowboys?
gold.
Do
What?
you know what he paid for the Dallas Cowboys?
I don't even know, to be honest.
$140 million. You know how much Micah Parsons just made?
188 million.
$138 million.
But that's
Crazy.
the problem. His mind is just stuck in 1970s, which probably in more ways than one.
Todd Archer asked him yesterday if they're going to continue this in terms of going to the player to negotiate. And he said yes. He doubled down.
Why? It's just, and there's no, that's the other problem. There's no checks and balances system. Like, I feel like Howie Roseman brought this up before where it's like Jeffrey Lurie has a hand in it, but he doesn't immediately directly tell them who to draft or who to hire. But he does pay attention enough. And he had, like, there were certain people, Jalen Hurts being one of them. Jeffrey Lurie loved Jalen Hurts. It's part of the reason why Jalen Hurts is on the team. Like, he has influence, but there's structure to it. There's structure to what they're doing. And obviously, like, the most important part with the Eagles right now compared to the Cowboys is how they're handling the salary cap. They know that there is a CBA coming and it will be a new TV deal that'll be enormous. So the deals, how they look now, will be bargain bin deals compared to how they are then. And they're creating these void years.
Was not the
at the end
price
of
yesterday.
the price, yes, yes, that's perfect. That is the perfect quote for it. That and so they have all these void years at the end of the deals, so that they can pay it out. And Jeffrey Lurie would take out his checkbook and be like, "Okay, Lane Johnson, thank you for your time, and here is the $31 million that we owed you that doesn't count to the cap. Here you go. Thank you for everything." And they're doing that again and again, and the Cowboys are acting like this is 1860 and doing handshake deals like they are working with Foreman on a railroad.
Steven and Jerry Jones are running the Cowboys as if it's a mutual fund for someone's grandmother who is unbelievably scared to lose a penny. It's like, and then you have Jeffrey Lurie, who also sold 10% of his team to a hedge fund
I was just going to
to
say
gain
this.
more money to be able to make moves to make his team successful and win.
They diluted shares of their ownership in the team to make more money so that we can keep spending it on good players without it counting against the salary cap. I want that to sink in
perfect
for
time
every
because
single fan.
the NFL only allows you to do that one time. He did it at the perfect time when his team just won the Super Bowl and knows they have the window to do it right now. The Cowboys, on the other hand, are paying their quarterback $60 million. His window is closing, and you just literally sent away his best teammate.
Two things. One, it is the perfect time for the Eagles. And Jeffrey Lurie is older. I don't know how long. I didn't realize that he is in his 80s as well. Like, he might not have as much time to be owner anymore, and I think he will walk away, and then we'll have a new ownership group within his family. So he's saying to himself, "Well, we just won the Super Bowl. Everybody on my defense is giving up. We're paying them quarters in this day and age, and they're all on rookie contracts. We can do this again. We've got a great core. There's a CBA coming where we're going to spend millions upon billions of dollars more. Let's take care of this right now." So, and the other thing with the Cowboys is just like them being in between is the worst possible place you could be. Mediocrity is what kills you. It's not being bad, it's being mediocre. Being bad helps because you have draft picks, you have ammo, you have cap space. The Cowboys are doing the opposite. They have 2 first-round draft picks from the Packers now, but at late 20s. I'm talking get a top 5 blue chip pick.
The worst case scenario is going to play out this year for the Cowboys in terms of, listen, this is not, I've been saying this even with Micah on the field. I think they could win as little as 6 games this year. I think that's a real possibility. I think this defense is going to be bad, but they also have the possibility to win, I think, 10 games this year. But
Mhm.
watch. The worst case scenario for a Cowboys fan this year, especially after what just transpired, is they're going to win enough games to make a wild card.
Oh,
And then they're
they
going to
could
lose that
easily be the
wild card
7th
round
seed. Yeah.
because it's what they do. Their pick is going to be 22, 23.
Mhm.
The Packers are going to make it to championship weekend. Their pick's going to be 29 to 30.
29.
And you're going to
Yep.
have the 24th pick and the 29th pick in the draft. Congratulations. You got 2 second-round picks. Watch. It's go mark.
Yeah.
It is what is today? Today is August 29th, 2025. Mark the tape. That's what's going to happen.
And I totally agree. I can see that coming because again, like you said, like next week, nothing has changed in my mind. I think the Eagles win by a single touchdown
And if
because I
Micah
think
was
this
on the
off,
field, I don't think anything changes. I don't think that changes the outcome of the game either.
and that's not a slight to Micah. I just think
No.
it's just how things transpire early in seasons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But watch also. This could be the the catalyst, right? That they rally behind Schottenheimer and they come out and they ruin Banner Night and then what, Aiden? What happens? What happened? They pull me back in.
Pull you back in. That actually is my worry right now. Is like in the NFL when everybody's going one way, it transpires the other way. So we're gonna say, oh, there's no way the Cowboys after this beat the Eagles, and then sure enough, they come in. They're gonna start 2-0, 2 wins in the division, and be like, all right, look at these Cowboys. They figured it out. They're gonna be 2-2 shortly after that. But for the time being, we're gonna be like, well, they really figured it out.
You want to know the real reason why they traded him 1 week before the season started?
Drama because they are the
They
Real
had all
Housewives of
summer.
Dallas Fort Worth.
They had the spotlight on the Dallas Cowboys all summer long.
Yep.
And without that, yes, they're still the Cowboys. First Take would still be talking about them, but really they're mediocrity, right? They're in reality, they're the Bengals.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're the Bengals because the Bengals have Joe Burrow. They are the better than the Jags. The Dolphins are in
Maybe.
Miami. They're the Jets. No, they're not the Jets.
I think the Jags are going to be good this year. We're getting way
Yeah,
off
I
track.
think the Jags are going to be fun. They're the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They are the Cardinals without.
I think so.
But Jerry finds a way, and he's like, we're going to drag this thing out all summer because also my Netflix documentary is dropping. And then I'm going to go on a media tour and I'm going to drop headlines saying David Mulugeta told me to stick the contract up my ass. And then you got New Heights laughing about it. And you got it's here, it's there. Dan Orlovsky, everybody, Pat McAfee, everybody's talking about it. I'm never going to trade him. Are you kidding me? Mike is going to. It's a media circus. That's what the Cowboys are. They are a Bravo reality show on MTV at the Jersey Shore while Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H are running down for a wrestling match. They're in a tornado. It's that's what they are.
If you are watching right now on YouTube, first of all, thank you. But second of all, if you're watching on YouTube and you're a graphic designer, if you could create a graphic for us that says Real Housewives of Dallas Fort Worth, and then take the girls from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Photoshop Cowboys players' heads over those, we would be very, very appreciative of that. I have the vision for it. I can't bring it to life, but that's exactly how I feel about this team right now.
And then throw in Sharknado in there as well.
That's actually a great comparison because that's like all flash and there's like no plot or substance. Like when you're like the idea of Sharknado is a lot better than the actual like plot or writing or actual like physical, like tangible script of Sharknado.
The
Kyle
plot
Brandt
of Harold
did a
and
great
Kumar makes more sense than the way the Cowboys run their
that
team.
that was a well-written copy.
It was a great movie. I think they got like 3 movies out of it too, didn't they?
They really did. I think they did. The Kyle Brandt did a great rant on it this morning, and it's pretty much what we're saying. This is the season right now for the next week, at least for the Cowboys. They are an off-season headline generator. They are content creators who put pads on. So from March to September, that's the Cowboys' time to shine. And it's these moments where we talk about them on every show. And then we go into trade rumors and contract holdouts and press conferences and interviews and sound bites. And you have all of that, and you're trending on every social media platform. People are talking about you. And then the 31 other teams play. Then we all play. And right now, 31 other teams have made it to a conference championship since you last have. So what does that say? Your season right now is March to September instead of September to February. And as a Cowboys fan, I'm laughing as an Eagles fan, but I would be beyond infuriated right now as a Cowboys fan.
See, it's funny, Aiden. I get maybe it's because I'm older than you, but like I'm just numb. Like I'm just so used. Like I came to a point where I was like, it is what it is. I just wanted it over.
Yeah.
I just wanted, I did, it, and I'm dead serious. Listen, I'm not saying the Cowboys won the trade. I'm so happy. No, I just wanted it over. It was like a root canal. Like it just was just like, just death defyingly numb and just dumb. But also, I will tell you this. Yes, he had the headlines all summer. Now he has the headlines this entire week leading up. And then it's pretty close to the beginning of the season, which also Jerry's saying about week 4. Micah and the Packers come back to Dallas on Sunday Night Football. You're not telling me he's going to be on every single show that week leading up?
He's going to do the pregame interview with Chris Collinsworth or Mike Tirico
100%
on NBC. You know what it's going to be. It'll be an interview with Micah, who will sit down with who's the sideline reporter? Mariah Taylor. Sorry if I messed her name up.
Yeah, Maria Taylor. You know, it'd be even more funny
great.
If they do it. You know what? It's not even going to be that. It's going to be that, but they're also going to have a sit down. You know, those sit down one-on-one interview. But it's going to be with Jason Garrett, who's on Sunday Night Football. It's going to be Jason Garrett interviewing Jerry Jones.
You bookmark this because that is absolutely happening. We all know it's happening. You can envision it. Like it's the like dim background, but it's like the low light that's blue. It's coming up from like the chairs, and it's just them two sitting one-on-one in a room, and they're like, "So Jerry, how do we feel now that the dust has settled? The season has begun. Micah Parsons is and you're 0-3, and Micah Parsons is backer, and then whatever he rambles about will be next. But we have that down to a T.
I can visualize it. I can see it. I can hear it. I can smell it. Every one of my senses knows exactly what's coming.
We've lived in this simulation too long. We know exactly what's coming.
That's week 4. Hold on.
Do you guys have a gauntlet? I forget what your schedule is.
They always have a gauntlet, but that is week 4. It's still September. I was going to say, if that was like close to Halloween, the funniest, he still probably should, but if it was like right around Halloween, the funniest thing would be if Micah walked in the stadium wearing a Michael Myers mask, because he kept calling him Michael all summer. He still should.
We might no, we play them later. Well, I was gonna say we play them around Halloween, but I think it's November, and it's a Monday Night Football game, so that'd be a really good game.
I will say this for Micah, and so what's his name? I guess one of the receivers, where Jaron Reed or something, wears 11, and now Micah tweeted out, "Should I wear 1 or should I wear 0? Wear 1. I don't see him wearing 0. I think 1 would be, yeah. Don't be 0, please. I don't.
He was 23 in high school. Is he allowed to wear 23?
I mean, the NFL, I feel like, lets anybody wear anything anymore.
This is gonna mark how old we're getting. All the receivers are wearing team numbers now. And people are like, "Oh, well, 80, that's like a tight end number." Like that's their justification. It's like that's because when they were growing up, like they were born in like 2004. So they missed Terrell Owens wearing 81. they missed Randy Moss wearing 84. Like, isn't that crazy to think about? It's
Michael
like
Irvin wearing
in their
88.
mind, they're wearing receiver numbers, and we're like, wow, this whole new age, they're wearing teens. That's weird. And they're like, that's what receivers wear. And we're like, no, you wear 80.
And there were just a couple like in the early 2000s, like Santana Moss wasn't he was 17?
He was 11. It was sick.
11 at Fitzgerald was 11. Brandon
Also,
Marshall was 15. But like besides that, Braylon Edwards was 17. But like everybody else, yeah, was receivers. You were in the 80s.
where were you when Anquan Bolden was wearing 81?
Oh God, I missed
The
him.
youth don't remember.
I loved him.
I've got one last Micah Parsons trade reaction thing, and then I'll give the floor back to you for final thoughts.
Yep.
This created my favorite meme and favorite video when it comes to trades. The mystery box video from Family Guy, where he walks into the store and they offer him a boat or a mystery box. And he takes the mystery box and he says to Lois, it could be anything. It could even be a boat, which is perfect for this with Micah. Like, what's the best thing that the Cowboys need right now? A generational edge rusher in his early 20s. Like, that would help them so much in the draft. And it's like, because that's what you had. Now you just need to you have to find the next Micah Parsons, even though you already had him.
It could even be a boat. It could be Micah Parsons. Maybe Terrence Parsons, his brother, will come in the draft.
A first round pick could be anything. It could even be Micah Parsons.
It could be Mozzie Smith.
This actually makes it even funnier because, like you brought up earlier in the show, it seems like this has been ongoing all offseason, even behind the scenes, and they thought about trading him during draft season. They had a clone of Micah Parsons wearing the same number from the same state, who went to the same college, playing the same position, who was in this draft, who might actually, when it's all said and done, could be better. And they waited till now to trade. they could have actually opened the mystery box and it would have been keys to a boat. They could have opened it up and be like, oh, I won't take the boat. I'll take the mystery box. Oh, it's a yacht. They could have actually done that and didn't.
Instead, they got Mozzie Smith. Who listen, now with Kenny Clark on the team, they have 6 defensive tackles on this roster. I don't know how Mozzie's just sitting there just chilling. He is the Teflon Don, man. I don't know.
He's got to know.
I will say also, thank God, I told you I was all over Zion Childress, the undrafted rookie from Kentucky, who I said was going to start week 1 in the slot. And we talked all about it and then like 12 hours later, he got cut and they signed 2 others. Well, they did just sign him. He made it through waivers. They signed him back to the practice squad. Thank God. So,
by the way,
but
congratulations,
also,
Trevor Keegan. I like him a lot.
But Trevor Keegan, cool. But like they cut Ryan Flanoy, the receiver who made the team,
that is odd.
Was like one of their most consistent players and best special teams players. Something my toddler would do. Just maybe release Mozzie Smith. I don't like. It's just unbelievable the guys that they give up on. But the ones that Jerry wants to keep, it's just like,
yeah, they're somehow bad at in between the margins.
Yes,
but also bad at those swings and like the big swings for the fences, like this Micah thing. Like, instead of just signing the premier star at a position in his prime, they messed up on that. But they're also not really doing well, like roster spot 53 to 50 or 50 to 53. That would frustrate me even more.
Last 2 things I'm going to say. One, I don't think all of the players in the Cowboys locker room are going to be unbelievably upset that Micah's not there anymore. It is now widely known that him and DeMarcus Lawrence didn't get along. Him and Malik Hooker didn't get along. I think the podcast thing is deeper than I think it does go deep into the players when he was out there sitting with Jordan Love after they got their ass kicked and
Mhm.
talking all about that. And so now listen, does every one of those players want him there on Sunday? Of course they do. But I think we're going to get some players starting to come out and eventually. But Jerry's going to try and sell this to everybody that this is his next Herschel Walker trade. And Jerry, it's not. One, the Cowboys were in an unbelievably different circumstance when he made that trade. They were at the bottom of the barrel. They weren't playoff contenders like they were now. This isn't turned into 5 first-round picks like it was then. You also don't have Jimmy Johnson making the picks. You're not getting Troy Aikman out of this. You're not getting Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith all out of this trade. And if you do, I'll look right in this camera and say, you did. I'm sorry. You were right. I was wrong. But I'm not going to do that because that's not going to happen. This is not what that is. I want to say you fumbled the bag and you're a bumbling toddler, but maybe you're not. Maybe this was all part of the Bravo TV special and you knew exactly what you're doing the whole time, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's not about winning anymore in Dallas. It's about clicks. It's about headlines. It's about the almighty dollar to the Jones family. And when they can buy more art and more oil fields and more companies. As a Cowboy fan my entire life, unfortunately, not unfortunately, during the 90s, it was a lot of fun. Could the picks help this team down the road? Yes. Could they parlay it into a quarterback? Maybe. But as of right now, this team is not better than it was 24 hours ago. So now you take the field in less than a week against the Super Bowl champs, who are also your bitter rival, on the road, with the entire world watching, against a quarterback also who just won Super Bowl MVP and is being unbelievably underrated and bashed for I don't know why, who doesn't say a word to anybody, just puts his head down and goes to work, who now doesn't have to worry about facing fucking Micah Parsons. And you're sending out a rookie, Donovan Ezeraku, who's a second-round pick, who's a good player, who now you're putting all your chips in and saying, go get him, Tiger. But he's not rushing against Pitt. He's going against Jordan Mailata. Good luck. Have fun. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Sad, confused, and numb. Put
It's
that
like
on
waking up after a long night out. Don't know where my phone is. Sad, confused, and just numb.
Mm-hmm. Good. Give me some
Well,
Dramamine and an H2O drink and another beer.
you remind me of like the guy who, like the grizzled guy in a small town who is like drinking a cup of coffee at the diner. We're just like, another day.
Another day in the salt mines.
Another day in the salt.
That's what it feels like being a Cowboys fan. That you're just
Yeah,
walking your way to the mine. Then be
that's unreal.
3,000 feet underground today.
Well, I had fun. This is a great debrief of what will go down as a historic trade. So I appreciate everybody who tuned in for this one. And guess what? The fun doesn't end here. If you want more sadness, numbness, confusion from KMess, come back next week. We got a big show. We have a game to preview. Micah Parsons won't be playing in it. You'll have to wait for the Green Bay Eagles game later this year in November on Monday Night Football for us to preview that one.
Or the
But
Green
come
Bay
back next
Cowboys game in September.
in September.
Oh,
That'll
that's
be another
actually
fun
really
one.
that's really funny. So a girl who works for me, her and her husband are big Cowboys fans. He is a huge Cowboys fan. They live in Jersey. He's never been to Dallas, to the stadium. And she's like, I need your help. It's his 40th birthday. I'm going to surprise him with tickets for a game this year down there. What game should we go to? Blah, blah, blah. So I actually, I was like, go Packers game Sunday night. It's going to be great. I was like, who's his favorite player? She's like, Micah. Got him a jersey.
Oh no.
I hooked him up with Mike Tag. They're going to the tag. They're doing a huge tailgate.
By the way, the Mike Tag video with the music in the background taking the Micah Parsons jersey down made me laugh so much.
I love him. We got to have him on soon. But now she's like, he's so sad because he just got the tickets like 3 days ago. She just gave him the tickets. We're going to the Packers game. It's going to be great. Here's your Micah Parsons jersey. You can wear it at the game. And now Micah's on the Packers.
Oh, what can you do? What can you do? That's one of those trips. It's just like in Fairly Odd Parents, where he like what keeps wanting to win the pencil award. Like, if I had one, he's gonna be at that tailgate. Like, I'd be wearing my Micah Parsons jersey if I had one.
I'd wear it anyway.
You might.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. I say it every year. Labor Day weekend's better than Memorial Day weekend. That is a hill I'm willing to die on. Even though summer is ending, football is starting. The weather is better. It's just a beautiful thing.
Love it.
You agree?
I totally agree. I love Labor Day weekend. So I'm excited, and we get to do a preview show next week. So for myself, for KMess, and for the Real Housewives of Dallas-Fort Worth, thank you for tuning in.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone. If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes. Bob Hope. I'm going to drink bleach. That it? Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year. This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.